Hey everyone, welcome to Web Moments. This week we're talking about CMSs, or content management systems. In the web world, you might hear us refer to them as CMSs, or as a CMS. That's just an acronym for Content Management System. Okay, so what is a content management system? A content management system is a system, a system on your website that manages the content of your website. That's pretty much simple as that. Excuse me. Um, so the next, so that's pretty much what it is. A lot of the content management systems are open source, meaning that they're developed openly by community. There's relaxed copyrights on them, so a lot of them are free to use, and you may even have heard of some of them. If you've heard of WordPress, WordPress is a content management system. It used to be pretty much focused on just a blogging platform years ago, but it's pretty much evolved into a full-blown content management system. I'll comment on WordPress more specifically here in a little bit, but it's one. There's a handful of other ones too that are also free to use. I use one called Concrete 5, or I have been using one recently. I used WordPress years ago, but I currently use one called Concrete 5, and for the most part, it's served my clients' needs pretty well. Plus, one of the things I like about it, and I think one of the things that my clients like about it, is that it's, from a usability perspective, it's a lot easier to use for the most part. It's sort of a more user-friendly, understandable way to use the system and navigate around the system and stuff like that. Of course, if you're talking about blogging, WordPress still excels at that. Even though it can be used as a full-blown content management system. But if somebody needs a blog, I would probably still recommend WordPress right off the top. So the question really is, do you need the question I want to ask is, do you need a content management system for your website? To be honest, probably almost any new website today has some sort of content management underneath it. Whether that's I'm trying to think of an example. Well, whether that's WordPress or the system I've been using, Concrete 5, or even if it's a custom built website and system, but completely custom built, maybe on top of some sort of framework, it's probably still even has some custom built content management systems built into it. So that's the truth. I mean, if you get a website today, more than likely whoever you hire to build that website is going to put some sort of content management under it. And that's good for several reasons. First off, it keeps the content of your website separate from the code of your website. All right? And that way, they basically don't interrupt or interfere with each other, like they would have years ago when so many of the websites were built without content management systems. So that's a little bit. Obviously, if you have a blog, you're gonna have a content management system. There's just no other real option there. The only reason nowadays that you wouldn't probably need a content management system for your website is if you were planning on just creating a website with a few things on it, and then you weren't planning on touching it for another 3, 4, 5 years for any reason at all. Now, I wouldn't recommend that, because if you're doing that, your website's probably not going to help your business like it could. But I mean, if you were doing something like that, there might not be a reason for a content management system underneath. So nowadays, almost in any situation, a content management system is recommended. And, more than likely, if you hire someone to do your website for you, they're going to put it in there as a part of the project. So, nowadays, almost every website has a content management system. At least any new ones. So that's a little bit about content management systems. So, they can manage basically the content of the website. Things like text and images, that's considered the website's content. So that's pretty much it for this week, I guess. That's a little bit about content management systems. And if y'all have any questions, shoot, I want to hear them. I'll try to help answer any questions you might have about them. Thanks. Bye.